I've been doing hair for over 30 years, and I've even done some celebrities. And this is how I color my hair at home. Seeing a hair colorist on a regular basis is a time-consuming pursuit that isn't always an option for everyone. Not to mention, DIY can actually be really convenient and fun. While I'm all for doing it yourself, and light touch-ups and gray coverage maintenance, major changes should be left up to the pros. Regardless of your reasons, there are a few things that I think you can do to get great results that don't leave you bothering a colorist with that after hours 911. Number one, pick the permanent shade that you really want, then go one shade lighter than that. Often, your hair will come out darker than you expect when you're doing it at home.
Speaking of going lighter, the hair around your face at your hairline grows in lighter and holds color differently than the rest of your head. And if you use base color at your hairline, it will look a lot darker than expected, which means you should buy a shade even lighter than the one you're using for your base that's reserved solely for your hairline. You'll only use a tiny bit, so you'll get multiple uses out of that one bottle, and it will be the best extra money you've ever spent. Mixing this extra hairline shade will be the difference between looking like you're wearing a dark, unnatural helmet and not.
Number two, pick up some semi-permanent gloss for your ends. You don't need the strength of a permanent color designed to cover grays and roots at your ends. And using one too often will lift out your existing color and cause redness. Number three, invest in good tools. I personally think the squeeze bottle that comes at the drugstore makes things a little too messy. To get better control and results, order a mixing bowl for your base color and some color brushes from a beauty supply store online. You shouldn't have to spend more than $10 before shipping. Remember, stick to plastic, never metal, so that your dye does not oxidize and change colors before it even gets onto your head. Once you have your brushes, use the pointy end to create your sections. This will be an easy way to paint and to get in the back where you can't see. I'm making a quick interruption to tell you that I'm running a promotion. Click the link to purchase your hair color, and the developer continue to DIY and do your own color. Peace.
Sectioning the hair is key, and you want to stay neat. I know I told you to use the end of the brush, and you can use that, definitely. I like to use a wide tooth comb. It's old school, it's just what I've always done. Barrier cream or oil. Barrier cream creates a protective layer on the skin before a color service. It prevents staining, reduces irritation, easy cleanup. Maintain skin hydration. Think of it like creating a temporary invisible glove for the areas of your skin that are most likely to come in contact with hair dye. Make sure you're using professional products. We have the Olaplex, there's Joico. I love using the Mazzani. It is neutralizing shampoo. I know that seems odd, but I like to mix all of them together. There's also the Goldwell. It is a color shampoo for damage. And all of the tools that you see there, it's a wide tooth comb, there is a cutting comb, there's a rat tail comb, there's a bowl and a brush. You need to have at least 2 bowls, 2 brushes. And we're getting ready for the color service. You want to try to be as neat as possible. Shaping up the product is so important. I use rat tail, a key, which is the silver thing that you see there, and that is where you insert the bottom of the tube. And in this video, I am using the tube color, not liquid. And I'm also using the cream developer. And we will be mixing at a 1-to-1 ratio, which means the measurement will be 2 ounces of color to 2 ounces of developer. Once you have everything mixed, it is time to apply. In this case, I have a lot of new growth. The roots are an area where there is natural heat. If you look closely, I am not going all the way to the root because I do not want the color to be louder than the other hair. Now I realize I have pre-lightened mid-shaft to ends, but it makes sense if you think about it not to take your color all the way to the root just yet. I am also using very thin partings. They're about 1/8 of an inch apart. Because my hair is pre-lightened, there are some areas on my mid shaft where it is darker. You want to make sure that you get those areas because there is no heat there naturally, and that colored part will get a head start. You must remember to remain neat. Wear dark clothing or an outfit that you do not mind getting stains all over. We are about finished with the first section. Once you apply the color in the 1/8 inch partings and you come all the way toward the ear, then you have completed the first section. You may want to go over a couple of pieces. You may want to inspect, but the main thing here is not perfectionism. It is definitely being neat. And you see here, I am even wiping my gloves because it is imperative to stay clean and as neat as possible. There's nothing new on this section. It's the same as the first. I have a lot of new growth on my color. I am going to not go all the way to the root purposely. If you missed that first part, it is because the root has natural heat and it will cook that color naturally, unless that is the look that you are going for, and that is a look. But however, me being a woman of a certain age, I have put away the things that I used to do when I was younger. So that is not something that I am going for, but just an FYI. There's been a lot of talk about the link between hair color and cancer. And while I am still in a lot of research, I have been one of the stylists that has done color all of my career. I've been around it for so long. And I do want to say that I have always used precautions. I eat blueberries. I eat berries, strawberries. Blueberries are known antioxidants, which combat the free radicals that come into your body when you color your hair. Now, you can get free radicals coming into your body by other means, but now we're just going to stick to the science of hair color. And I take supplements. I take minerals. I also use products, hair products at the wet bar. And I have used them my entire career. Now, I'm not saying that these studies aren't founded. And I have skimmed over a few of them. And I will go deeper into the studies because I am getting older. I am 54. And I am so grateful to be in the health and the condition that my body is in at this point in my life. I am so grateful. Yet, I do wonder if they were using a stabilizer or if they had used, because stabilizer acts as none other that I have seen on the market. And since making this video, I also endorse K18 as another additive to your arsenal. And I will link that product also below. It is amazing what that product does. Those two in combination with the neutralizing shampoo, I can tell you, it stops the action of that color off of your scalp into your body. We can do a lot of things. A lot of things can be factors to cause things to come, foreign things to come and live inside of our body and grow and cause disease. But I don't want to get deep off into it before I have done my studying. I'm just giving you my wisdom at 54. A colorist, a hair colorist who loves coloring her hair, who has always colored her hair. But I have always used these products. I have always taken minerals. I've always taken supplements. I've always tried to eat well. I've always tried to use a good diet. I have gone through detoxes. And these are things that you need to consider also when you are embarking upon your hair color journey. It's no mistake that getting in the back is a little bit more difficult than the front. You're going to have to do a lot of feeling in the back. You can stop, use a mirror, turn around and check yourself. But it is essential that you get this product on there neatly and evenly as possible. At some point in the back, I choose to not go all the way down. The back has virgin hair, meaning there's no color. Now, there may have been a dark brown that I used previously all over in the back, but that is part of my hair where there is no gray coming in as well. And I definitely did not have any pre-lighted hair in the back. And because I'm using a number 5, it's okay for me, being a strong number 3 naturally, to leave that part back there alone without it looking to match. You will have to decide depending upon what your base color is. Now, when I say base color, I mean what God gave you naturally. Not gray. He did not give you gray hair naturally unless that is a birthmark. There are people out there who were born with gray birthmarks. I realize that. But whatever color God gave you naturally is what we call your base color. And what color you decide to go the next level up from that, one level up from your base color, you would have to decide if it's worth it to leave about 6 inches, maybe not 6 inches, maybe 4 inches in width in that back part alone, where you don't have to worry about coloring it. And because I am right-handed, I believe this side is just a little bit easier for me to look and check and look and check. We're getting close here to where I decide that I'm going to leave the rest, which is the virgin hair, alone and clip it off and move on to the next section. One thing I want you to notice is that I am neatly taking a tiny bit and I am putting it on the underside of the section, the 1/8 inch parting. And then I am flipping it over and putting it on the top of the section, making sure that it is saturated. Still, though, not taking it to the root. Or you could do it in the reverse. It doesn't matter. If you want to take a little bit, very neat on the brush amount of color, apply it to the top end of the section, the 1/8 inch parting, and then flip it over and do underneath there. Very neat. But again, I can't stress it enough. Do not take it to the root just yet. You may have a section of hair, which I believe this is one of the ones that has no pre-lightened hair. And as a matter of fact, if you are not pre-lightened from your mid shaft to your ends, then you are going to take that color all the way down. But I stress this, do not put a heap of color onto that brush. Make sure that you remain neat
use a little bit at a time, That way you remain neat, you have control, and then you get to the end and then you have more color to disperse where you need it. Depending on what hand is stronger for you, or your writing hand, the opposite hand is going to be the weaker side for you applying this color. But if you remain neat, if you do a little bit at a time, if you go gently, if you're not heavy-handed with this process, you cannot lose. And there are times